Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Spiritual Growth Forum. I am Cherise, and I am here with Donna. And Donna, I was hoping we'd have one. She's a full body channel. So I am very, very excited about this. She is the voice of a collective called the Boardroom. And with over 40 years of diverse leadership experience in corporate, government, education, and law enforcement, Donna has dedicated her career to transforming world leaders. The Boardroom is a visionary, multidimensional council renowned for its innovation, invention, and leadership, inspiring and motivating all who engage with it. This dynamic collective symbolizes wisdom, vision, and guidance across various fields, tailoring their messages to the needs of the audience. Together, Donna and the Boardroom empowers leaders to drive meaningful transformation and shape a future defined by impactful change. Welcome, Donna and the collective. Hi.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm so happy
Absolutely.
to be here today.
Yeah, very exciting. Yes. Okay, so I am going to disappear for a bit. Donna's going to chat with you. And then I believe we're going to actually have some channeling. So if you have questions and you are here live, drop them down below. If you have questions for the collective, for the Boardroom, do drop them down below, and I will assist and facilitate with making that happen when we get there. Okay? Awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Reese. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you today, and thank you for joining me. I just want to give a little bit more information about me in the Boardroom, and then I'm going to go in and channel a live message for the group that's with us today, but it also will apply to those who watch this video later on, because it will be a very general message to our collective. So just to get started, the Boardroom, well, they are a powerful, powerful group of past leaders, inventors, politicians. It's just a very diverse group that come in and offer guidance to leaders, business owners, and others, those leading themselves who would just like some insight around things that really are important to them. There's really no frame or boundaries around what can be asked, although we do primarily focus on leadership, because the Boardroom feels true leadership is about making a difference and about uniting people for common goals. In other words, we work together, the Boardroom and I, to bring messages out that are about bringing us as leaders to a better place and to bringing our impact to the world in a much different way, a much more impactful way. The Boardroom works with higher level leaders and business owners, but it's also available to everyone. So why did they choose me? Well, that's a great question. And I'll really start with that. I spent, as Therese said, when she introduced me, over 40 years working in leadership and developing leaders. And when I left my corporate career, I left with a lot of questions about myself and who I was and how would I exist beyond corporate, because that had been my identity for so many years. And I just wasn't sure about how I would proceed. But I also had a lot of concerns about how we were leading people, how we were giving and sharing information, how we were treating people, and did we really have the best interest of our entire collective in mind when we were making some of the decisions that we made. And as I really worked on that and further developed my spirituality, all of a sudden I started getting some guidance from voices that were, at first I felt inside my head, but then later validated that I was actually channeling the messages of the Boardroom. And it started with just a couple people that were coming and validating my thoughts and helping me write materials and helping me bring information out to the world and to the business world. But it then grew and expanded. As I had different subjects, I had different people come in. And today they are just this fantastic group that really can respond to anything that we ask. And I myself use the Boardroom quite frequently as I ask for guidance in how I prepare and develop my business and grow and lead people into their futures as well. So I feel that was the foundation of them choosing me. And I really felt honored to be working with them. So my role with the Boardroom is I am their voice. Their messages come through me to you I don't interfere with them. I don't change them. We are intertwined. A lot of what they talk about and what I talk about are the same. And so there are times where they will be sharing messages, and I may then add my own, although I'll always tell people, this is coming from me, not the boardroom. And then the boardroom gives me a thumbs up or thumbs down about whether or not they agree with me. And I share that quite openly and honestly. So my voice is their voice, and I speak for them. When it's appropriate, I do bring my professional experience in after the boardroom sessions to help people understand and apply what they've heard from the boardroom, and to help them plan about where they'd like to go with the information that they have been given. I also want to share with you how I channel, because depending on what you've been exposed to, you might expect different things from channelers. When I channel, I really am myself. And so a lot of times my clients tell me it's like talking to my best friend when I'm talking to the boardroom. And that's because it's very conversational. We have a back and forth dialogue, and it really keeps us all engaged. But the boardroom sends their messages through me, and that's what I relay out. My face doesn't change. My voice doesn't change. Sometimes it might get faster because I might get a flood of information that is coming forward for my client, and it just has to flow because I, again, don't want to interrupt anything. So I may pick up the pace. And I have realized sometimes I close my eyes, especially when I'm getting a lot of information. But for the most part, the person channeling is me. And so just so that you're kind of expecting to hear me talking to you. How we work with clients, the boardroom and I, again, are in a dialogue format. We ask questions back and forth of each other. And what the questions do are really help us dive deeper into the channel. And so, questions to the boardroom or questions from the boardroom help us access deeper information, helps us see more of that person so that we can direct the message specifically to them, because every message is for that person. And by the way, who shows up in the boardroom depends on what we're talking about with our client, because the expertise aligns with the needs of the client as well. So we usually don't focus on personal issues. However, sometimes there are cases where there's something going on personally with our client that needs to be talked about. And in those cases, the boardroom will bring that forward, and we will talk about and have that discussion with the client. But for the most part, we keep it to this business type of conversation. So that's pretty much the background of the boardroom. And so now I'm going to go into a channel for the group. And just give me 1 second. I'm going to connect. And the boardroom likes to talk, and they like being with you. The first thing from the boardroom is that they want you to understand that we are all leaders. Whether we're leading ourselves or we're leading others, we are leaders. And thereby, how we manage and how we deliver our own persona is very important to how we're portraying leadership to other people. That people will follow us, they'll model us, and that they see us as their guidance and their vision for where they're going in the future. They see us as the person that they look to for information for what they do next. They, in many ways, put us on a pedestal, which is very hard to live up to. And the easiest way for us to live up to that is to be ourselves. So the first thing they want you to know is the best way to be yourself is to ground in your own personal values and to be very specific about what's important to you, to manage that, to hold that in your heart at all times, so that as leaders, you don't sway one way or another because of another person and what they might tell you or what's expected of you. Be true to yourself at all times. Speak the truth at all times. They're looking for authenticity. Authentic leaders are the most respected leaders. They are the ones that people follow the most. And so they encourage you to align first with yourself, be true. And then, as I said earlier, the boardroom message is about unity. And so in unity, they feel by leading yourself, you automatically attract people like you and get them to connect with each other and expand the groups that you're with, and then people that you network with, the networks that you're part of. And so it's all about bringing people together. That is the real job of a leader, to bring people together to achieve common goals, to be successful, shared success across many, across all engaged, and to engage everyone, not to have any boundaries or biases about who contributes and who doesn't contribute. Leadership is about having a place for everyone and including everyone in the conversation, and about being true and loyal to all that are involved. As leaders, there's always more to learn. And so the boardroom encourages everyone to be in a state of learning at all times. A lot of times they say we focus on our failures as failures. They say that's not true. That is not the way that it's supposed to be seen. Failures are your learnings to success. Consider it part of your path to success, your roadway to success, and that your best learnings will come from your failures. Those will be the ones that you will remember the most, improve the most, and develop the most from. Those are the ones that you need to really, really focus on. But also, they want you to celebrate your successes, because success is so important. And as leaders, we often have to deal with a lot of imbalance with others. And often that creates an imbalance in us. And the best way to stay aligned is to realize when we do really, really, really good, and to celebrate that and say thank you to ourselves and thank you to all those that have supported us, because those are the things that get us to grow and shine and continue to shine our lights to everyone else. As part of unity, the boardroom wants you to know that there is no place for hatred or anger, and that today it's an ongoing problem in the world. We're sharing a lot of hate and anger, and that as leaders, we need to flip the switch on that we need to turn that around. And the way that we have to do that is to love, to share love, peace, joy, and happiness, starting with ourselves. So continued from our celebrations, come back and love yourself based on your values, based on everything that you know about yourself. Love yourself daily, because as people, as this universe, we are all interconnected. So when we love ourselves, we actually love others. Our love spreads, it flows, it raises everyone up. It gives everyone a chance to experience that love that we are feeling. And so by not siding with hate and anger, but by instead aligning with the love and the joy and peace, we actually raise the vibration of the planet, and we share those things automatically with everyone. And they add a message about today. A lot of times leaders feel that sharing the anger and the hate in groups is a good way to get a message across. And while the messages need to be shared, they need to be shared in a format of learning, so that everyone can learn from each other and continue on that path of personal growth and development, but also unity and group growth, collective growth and development. And so the boardroom says to not protest in anger, but to share a message people will listen to and understand, and allow them to question, to create that greater understanding, because that is what will bring us together. Trust has been an important topic, not only today, especially today, but also in a lot of days this week. Trust has come up many times. It's come up for me personally as well. And the boardroom continues to share the message that trust is core for us, trust of ourselves and trust of others. Many of us find it difficult to trust ourselves and to trust others. We do that by grounding in our values, by believing in ourselves. So when you're wavering on your trust in yourself or in others, the boardroom advises that we focus on our strengths. Take pride in ourselves and the things that we are good at, and tell ourselves that over and over again. And prove, it's kind of like a ritual of proving to ourselves that we can trust ourselves because we've been successful when we have. And so we have to continue that process. As we trust and we build trust in ourselves and in others, trust comes more easily. It becomes easier each time we do it. And so try it. They're saying just try it and let it work for you. But start by trusting yourself and giving yourself the latitude to experiment and try new things, trusting in the universe that everything is going to work in your favor. So that switches us in the topic a little bit more broadly, saying that the universe has our back. As long as we put out what we want and we honor it and let it go, the universe will provide for us. They also tell me that the laws of the universe, the 12 universal laws, are really important to us, and that we should all understand those laws as part of our core knowledge. Because if we follow the guidance of the universal laws, then we will not need to really, we will always do the right thing. That's what they said. We'll always do the right thing, and it will always bring us into a good place. It's when we try to manipulate the laws that we run into problems. And so following the laws brings ease and grace. And that's what they would like you to remember. And if you're not familiar with the laws, they're very easy to access and they're very easy to understand. And they're a great guide. Use it as a compass in what you're doing. And it also gives a lot of understanding to what's going on in the world, because you can see, for example, a law of polarity where opposites exist, and it talks to love and hate. And so the idea is that by understanding the laws, we can start to mute them, bring things back together. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Yes. So the boardroom would like you to know that it's the simple gestures that matter, like a simple smile, putting out your hand to someone else, doing a favor, helping a child, helping an elderly person who just might want someone to talk to, giving your time. Those things are easy, and they really do matter in how we shape the world ahead of us and how we lead the world ahead of us. And so they would like you to start with maybe a simple set a simple example for yourself, a process for yourself. Maybe walk one day, whether you walk outside in a park or in a store or wherever you go, just in your day as you're walking around, to smile at people and see the reaction and see if they say anything to you. Notice if they smile back to you. It's a very simple thing to do. And when they react or respond to you, it will be very rewarding. And so try the simple things out and see the impact that the small things have on our larger collective. Most importantly, the boardroom says, have faith, share love, trust, be kind, be generous, and have your priorities so that you too can lead us into the future. Be the leader that matters. be the leader that makes a difference. Thank you. And the boardroom thanks you. I will remain connected with the boardroom, and I'm going to start a conversation with Charisse. And hi there. And I would love your questions or comments. If you have questions for the boardroom, you can ask them through the chat, and Charisse will help me facilitate them.
Absolutely. So Sylvia wanted to know, how do I become a more confident leader?
Well, it all starts with you. And the boardroom is so adamant on that point because it's the confidence in yourself that makes you a confident leader. And so they say, Sylvia, that when you align on your values and you know who you are and where you stand, you build your confidence, you have your confidence in yourself. You know who you are and you are true to you. You become unshakable. And when you become unshakable, others follow because they respect you because you are the authentic you. You are the person who you show. Your inside shows on your outside. And so it's your inner guidance system actually shows, is what's portrayed outside of you. And it attracts people to you, right? It's like a magnet, and it will just attract people to you because you are reflecting you, and people will be drawn to that.
I love that. Veronica wants to know, what are the top 5 qualities for leaders, and how do we step into them or develop that capacity to be a leader?
Thank you, Veronica. So I think the first quality goes right back to leading thyself first, right? And so that's very important for a leader. You have to lead yourself before you can lead others. People see who you are. So that's number 1. Number 2 is authenticity. I always have trouble saying that word for them, but it is authenticity. And so, people don't like to guess who they're working with. They like to know who they're working with. When you're authentic, they know who they're working with. So they don't have to play this guessing game. They don't have to be afraid about what they say. That is a key quality, and people love it. They're drawn to it. So that would be 2. Number 3 is to be engaging. Engage people in conversations. Listen to them. They are not used to that, quite honestly. They're used to being told, not listened to. And so when you listen to them, you get more information from them, and they provide you with the direction and answers that you need. So it's a magical kind of formula that just works so effectively. Listen and you will hear, and then you will do, because they will guide you, right? And so it's just that is engaging in conversation, being so open. Walk around with a persona that is acts as a magnet to pull people to you.
Absolutely.
The 4th thing is to empower others. And so, when you empower people, number 1, they don't expect it, but they love it. And it gives them a chance to rise and shine, and they love to do things for their leaders. And it develops them. It makes them become leaders. And we need more and more leaders all the time. Never less, always more, because we quite honestly today are short of good leadership examples. And we need to model what a leader is. And then the last thing is an important thing, is to deliver results, outcomes, right? Because when you're a leader, you're always striving to accomplish something. So if you're leading people, you need to get your results. And those results motivate you, motivate the people, and motivate those who are counting on you. And so results are really important. And what was the second part of the question, Charisse?
The second part was
how do I develop
step into or develop that capacity to be the leader
Yeah.
that's needed.
You know, okay, so the boardroom said, get a mirror out.
I love when spirit's like, seriously, I already told you. With
They
all the
said,
love in the world, right?
No. They said, you know who you are. Look at yourself. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. Create your own plan on how to develop from the inside out. And then, I love this one, walk the talk. Do it. Just do it. And so, yeah. So, it's all of those things that I said, but it's again, being you, right? And being forefront about who you are.
Absolutely. And then the next one is, again, Veronica, wanting to know, as a female, oh no, I think I'm missing one. Here we go. Okay. Is there a particular type of leader being called forth? Like civil rights leaders or business leaders or political leaders? I feel like the answer is all of the above, right? I'm not
Yes.
wrong.
It's strong leaders. We're
Yeah.
looking for transformational leaders, leaders who will make a difference, all capacities. And, the boardroom poses a question a lot that says, think about leaders today and think about a great leader who pops to mind. And we all have different views about what leaders are, but now match that up to those 5 things that the boardroom just gave as top leadership qualities and see if they fit that, right? And then decide like where we need to change for ourselves.
Yeah. I love that.
But there's a leadership shortage. That's what they want me to emphasize. There's a leadership, an effective leader. They corrected me, an effective leadership shortage. And so,
yeah, there's a lot of really bad leaders out there right now.
Exactly.
The collective must be just ripping their hair out. Like, oh, why are we listening to these monsters?
Yeah. They said to me, Donna, we're going to be positive today. So they're positive.
Only go positive. Only go positive. Okay.
We have a lot of good leaders now. They do joke a lot.
They do. Yeah, absolutely. So Veronica is also asking, particularly for her, I think, as a woman, are there any particular attributes or knowledge that we need to avail ourselves of, that we should know or be able to learn in order to create that leadership within ourselves?
I think it's all the same, Veronica, in that the boardroom says, yes, I was right about that. It's the same because their message is that leaders are leaders, and we have to stop differentiating between types, right? Leaders need to be recognized as leaders no matter who they are, sex, race, religion, whatever, gender. I said that. Okay. So they say that you have to just concentrate on the qualities, because female leaders are strong. It's been a misnomer in the past that there's certain skills of men that are more needed than what women bring. Okay, so there's this whole thing about feminine versus masculine. And so they said, if you want to talk in terms of gender, it's really feminine qualities matched with masculine qualities, and the fact that they can be used interchangeably. That's really important. And so, it's really not about how we show up, what we look like, but it's really about what we do and how we can go between the strengths of the feminine qualities and the strengths of the masculine qualities. But most importantly, it can't be isolated one or the other, because we've done that already. And going forward, we can't do it anymore. We have to be strong no matter who we are. And Veronica, if you have any comebacks, please put them in the chat.
Okay, cool. And then she also asks, what are the 12 universal laws? I think you'd mentioned that earlier in the talk.
Yeah, the laws of the universe. And so there are 12 laws. It starts with, well, the one that most people are familiar with is the law of attraction. That is one of the laws of the universe. And so that's one, but there's like the law of cause and effect. Everything you do has an effect, right? It may not affect you, but it will affect someone somewhere somehow. And that leads me to the number one, which is we are all interconnected. We are all one. And so what that means is that whatever I do impacts you. And so because we're all interconnected. And so I can't give you all 12 right now. I could get close, but I'm on the spot, so I'll get nervous. So yeah, the boardroom says, Google it. You'll see them. They're right there. And that they're there in many forms. But I also have a document that I'm offering as a bonus called the 12 Laws of Leadership, where I've taken the 12 laws with the boardrooms channeling through me, have created 12 laws for leadership that tie one-to-one with the laws. And so, and the other leaders that I've shared them with have been so thankful for them. So take a look at them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love that. And I think you had dropped the link for that already in the Facebook group. So definitely go check it out.
Yeah. It's accessible on website, messagesfromtheboardroom.com.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I'll drop that link here in a bit, guys. Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
It's an important one. How can the people in this container, in this forum, how can they take what they're learning and become better learners, not just from this talk, but from all of the, like, what is the one piece that everyone needs to take away? And I know there's one that everyone needs to take away. It might be slightly different for them each, but what is that one thing?
I'm not sure I understand the full question for them. They're giving me a couple things.
Okay. Maybe just see what their answers are.
Okay. So learning is an individual need, right? And so from all of the things that have been here, the biggest learning for them is that when people come together, magical things happen.
Yes.
And so it's important that we respect the unity and the joy that comes out of it. And so, all right, I'm tingling. They say that, when you participate in something like the forum, you expand your consciousness no matter who you're listening to. And that is our goal, to keep on expanding our consciousness. And so forums like this are magical because we are getting information from so many different avenues. And when you come in a learning mode, then you're going to make magic happen.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's all about just being open to it, right?
Right. And so many times we think, oh, we know it all. Then that is a fundamental mistake of leaders, in that we don't know it all. And it ties back to empowerment, right? Because it's all of us together that know it all.
Absolutely. Yes. Which is so incredibly beautiful. Veronica said thank you and thank the board, because those beautiful answers. Does anybody else have any last questions for the boardroom or for Donna herself? Awesome. I think that is about it for questions. So I am dropping the link here. Hopefully Sylvia will drop that in the chat for you. And I want to thank you and the collective, or the boardroom. I don't know if you guys know this about me. Some of you do. I love channels. They're my favorite people on the planet because of the information that we're being shared. And the fact that they're so open and willing to do that. I mean, there's not I tried, guys. I tried to be a channel. I am not a clear channel. And so for me, the people that are, I have so much gratitude for you because I know how much bravery it takes to give yourself up to spirit that way. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to disappear and I'll let you chat for a minute more and we'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you. So I had a couple of prepared questions that I usually get asked, and I just thought I would share them with the group. So a lot of people ask me when I started channeling, and it was actually quite a few years ago. And I had channeled for many years, and that the boardroom came to me about 5 years ago after I ended my corporate career and was really searching about who I was and what I was going to do, after leaving corporate. And so that's when the boardroom entered my life. And so again, we've been together about 5 years now, and it's been nothing but amazing for me, hopefully for them too. And then a lot of times people ask me questions about what informational needs are brought to the boardroom. And really, the boardroom addresses a wide range of questions and informational needs, including guidance on personal development, spiritual insights, spiritual development, business and leadership strategies, and solutions to complex problems. And then a lot of people ask about what kind of feedback I receive. And I shared some of that earlier. And it's like we're having, a lot of people tell me it's like they're sitting down with their friend over coffee and having a great conversation, but they walk away with some exciting insights that they wouldn't have had with their friend. And so they're profoundly transformative sessions. People walk away and report that they've gained clarity, that they're feeling more grounded and experiencing a new, renewed sense of purpose, that they feel like they have a go-forward plan. And many appreciate just being able to have the freedom to be themselves with a group that likes to be themselves through me. And why do leaders connect with me and the boardroom? Because they're seeking clarity usually on something, or they're seeking direction or deeper understanding about a particular matter, and they want some guidance. And so they reach out for those reasons. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. And I just feel that it's been a great experience. If you'd like to contact me through Facebook on the Spiritual Growth Forum group site, you can get me through the message. And if you have any more questions that you'd like to ask, I'd love to answer them. And we'll be checking the chat there. Thank you so much, and look forward to hearing from you. You can also set up a meeting with me at messagesfromtheboardroom.com. Even if you just want to chat about something that is a possibility to talk with the boardroom, you can schedule time there on my calendar. Thanks so much.